DECA members, my name is Jessica Gear, and I am the Nebraska DECA State Vice President of Publications.
And I am Roy Kaufman, owner of Kaufman Management Resources, and I have been a DECA judge for almost 30 years.
The purpose of this video is to give you the tools you need to be successful in competition. Mr. Kaufman and I will give you a student and judge's perspective, which will help you prepare for a role play and maximize your impact with the judge. We want you to give you the competitive edge to make the stage at state and the international conference.
From a judge's perspective, there are some tips that I think are important to address in a presentation. First of all, the judge is your biggest cheerleader. As a judge sitting in a chair, we want you to succeed. So take a deep breath, relax, and just make your presentation. Also, know your role play, not just the performance indicators, but what the situation is, what the company is, what type of a company you're dealing with. So know all of the role play. And as Jessica is going to outline, take some notes. Introduce yourself, pay attention to the judge's name. In a lot of the role plays, you'll be given the manager's name, use it. If not, if you can see my name tag, use my name. Or make a name up. As a judge, I will understand that. Also, make eye contact, smile, use hand gestures during the presentation, and that's one way that you can make me a part of what you are doing. And don't fidget or play with jewelry or with your hair or with your clothing. If you have an earring, don't play with it. Also, don't be nervous. If you lose your place, stop, take a deep breath, and just back up and go from there, because I'm going to understand it. I see it in the business world every day, so it's no big deal. So don't get excited about it. Also, if you miss a point, you can always go back to it. I may not even notice that you missed a point, so you can pick it up, cover it, or recover it later in your presentation, and that is just fine. Share the presentation and your proposal with me. If you have paperwork that you can put in front of me, do so. Along the same line, if you have charts, anything like that, put them to where I can look at it. You'll notice as a judge, I will look at it, and that helps me be a part of your presentation. Also, in a role play, use words like we, us, our goal. That helps make me feel like a part of your presentation and that you work together. We work for a company. And ask for the sale at the end. Ask for permission to proceed. And preferably, I'd like to see you say right now, this afternoon, tomorrow, next week. Ask me for the sale.
From a student's perspective, here are a few things to keep in mind. Always give a good handshake at the beginning. Be the first to offer. Enunciate your words. I know you'll be nervous, but make sure you're not mumbling. And finally, confidence and energy are the most important keys to success. The role play we've chosen for today's purposes is a sports and entertainment role play. I play the role of marketing director for University Sports and Trends. I'm charged with the task of implementing a marketing information management plan to collect data that will help the company increase sales and fill the needs of our customers.
As a judge, I assume the role as the owner of University Sports and Trends, and I am excited to hear the marketing director or my marketing director's presentation. And as a judge, I have to keep it in my mind that yes, I am excited. You do work with me, and as I said earlier, it is an us type presentation.
You'll have 10 minutes to prepare your presentation and 10 minutes to present to your judge. You want to start off by reading and understanding the role play and learning the performance indicators. Performance indicators are your prime points that you need to address as part of the role play solution. You are allowed to take notes into the role play. What I do is I start off with a piece of paper, write my role, my judge's role, and the name of the company I'm working for. I write down the situation and all of the performance indicators. From there, you can brainstorm ideas and come up with recommendations and benefits of your proposal. Write down the action that you would like to be considered and be sure to summarize your recommendations in order. When you present in front of the judge, be sure to acknowledge them by name and offer them a firm handshake. Also, wait to sit down until the judge offers you a seat. If they don't, ask to be seated. Begin with your opening statement and follow the notes to help you stay on track. Speak slowly, clearly, and involve your judge in the conversation, using phrases like we, us, and our. The judge will ask you questions. Even if you have already answered them in your presentation, go back and restate them. Close the sale. Don't be afraid to ask the judge for their approval of your plan. At the end, thank the judge for his or her time and offer a handshake once more. Turn in your notes when you have completed the role play.
Now let's take a look at this sample role play.
Jessica,
Kaufman.
good
Nice
afternoon.
To see you again.
Have a seat.
All right, thank you.
Well, Jessica, as you know, in our sporting goods company, we have a marketing issue or two that we need to address. We're reaching the student athlete, but we're not reaching much farther. You have some solutions.
Yeah, I drew up a proposal that I thought we could talk about the importance of marketing information.
Okay.
So first off, I want to talk to you about the importance of why we need to collect marketing research. We have been in business 5 years and have yet to collect any research. So I think it's vital to our success that we start collecting this research now so we can increase our sales and satisfy our customer. So the importance of collecting marketing information is it allows us to collect demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioralistic information that we can use to then identify who our customers are, what their needs are, and who we're failing to reach. So then we can adopt our marketing and advertising strategies to best reach those customers. We can tell who we're successful in reaching, what products we're successful in selling, and when those products are selling the most. So then at that time of the year, we can heavily market those types of products to get as much sales as possible. Then we need to describe the use of technology in the marketing information management function. The use of technology is that we can collect and store marketing information. It tells us who we're reaching and who we're failing to reaching. For example, we can use online, email, and in-store surveys to best evaluate how the customers are feeling before, during, and even after the sale, as well as databases such as Access to store the information and see how the information is changing over a span of time. Finally, we can use cash registers to see what geographic areas we're reaching, what products we're selling, and when we're selling them. So then the importance of this marketing information is that we collect it and then we best utilize it in our marketing and advertising strategies as well as our inventory strategies to make sure we have all the products we need on hand when they're selling the most. That way we can continually satisfy our customers. Then we need to describe options businesses use to obtain marketing research data. There are two different types of marketing research ways we can obtain the information: primary and secondary. Primary is information we collect firsthand. For example, our surveys, both online, email, and in-store, as well as focus groups. Now, with the focus groups, we can take a sample of our customers who shop there frequently and who don't shop as frequently, and ask them some questions about how they feel when they're in our store. Are they satisfied after they obtain our products, and then what we can do better as a company. Secondary, we can collect demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioralistic information and see the trends of our customers over a span of time. So this is going to be really key at increasing our sales if we can see who our customers are and what they're buying. Is that clear?
That's good.
Great. And then we can discuss the nature of marketing research problems and issues. Problems and issues arise all the time. It can never just be a smooth process when we're collecting marketing information. So some of the problems that can arise is starting with our focus groups. We can obtain a sample, but the sample might not be representative of how all of our customers are feeling. Oftentimes, people are more likely to express when they're dissatisfied than when they're satisfied with the project. So I'm sure you understand that when you get people calling in about how they think we didn't perform as well as we should have. So we really need to make sure that we're getting a representative sample of the data, both customers that are happy and disgruntled. Then there's also participant bias in the focus groups. If the leader and instructor of the focus groups can lead into a question a certain way, our results can be skewed because participants think they need to answer in a certain way when they're in this participant groups. And as well as people can participate just for the option of getting incentives. We often should offer incentives when we're conducting marketing research, so our results can be skewed in that aspect. And finally, we need to describe techniques for processing our marketing information after we've actually collected the information. The thing that's going to be the most useful for us is databases, such as Access. After we've collected it and processed the information correctly, then we can take that information back to my department and figure out how to reach the people that we're not reaching and are reaching, and do it effectively. So then we can increase our sales while still satisfying our customer. So after being in business for 5 years, I really think that we do need to start moving in the next couple weeks towards start obtaining marketing research so we can really utilize all of our departments. Right now, our athletic supplies is prospering while our other side of the trends apparels is not doing as successful as it should, and I think our goal should definitely to be increasing sales and still satisfying our customers. So I think we should start taking steps to implement marketing research to make us a successful company.
I think that's right. Let me ask a couple of questions here. With our computerized cash registers, I know that there's some things that we can gather with those that we're not doing now. Elaborate on that just a little bit more.
All right, so when customers come in and they're purchasing products, right away at the cash register, we can ask them for their zip code, which will allow us to see what geographical area they're from. Then we can best utilize advertising and marketing strategies to that geographical area, and then we can see the geographical areas we're failing to reach and adapt strategies to try and really collect those new customers and kind of bring them in and establish some customer loyalty. And we can also see with the cash registers what products we're selling and when we're selling them the most. So this will be successful when we're trying to establish what type of inventory we want and what products are doing the best at which different times of the month.
At this point, what do you think will be our best method to collect information starting off?
I think our best information will be definitely utilizing the resources we have, the cash register. We can really get a good idea of our inventory sales and what customers are reaching, and then we can utilize that data to adapt marketing strategies to reach a wider target market.
Okay. Jessica, I think you've answered all of my questions, and I appreciate your work. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope to implement this marketing research very, very soon.
I think we need to start it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Very
you.
Good. Jessica, thank you.
Thank
we'll
you,
talk
Mr.
some more.
Kaufman.
As a judge looking at Jessica's presentation today, there were 2 or 3 things that I was looking for as we began the presentation. One was how she greeted me. As you noticed, kind of an aside, as a judge, we were both standing. She came to me grinning, and she's the one that initiated the handshake. And then I asked her to sit, which she did. She had just a little bit of a pause in her presentation, but then she started. And after that, she went through the performance indicators, which I was very impressed with, because she went through them just kind of 1, 2, 3 and explained a lot of the issues involved 2 or 3 different ways in the presentation. And looking at the performance indicators, I was look at the fact she described the need for marketing information. She did that very well. She incorporated that in all of her presentation. Described the use of technology in the marketing information management function. She did that as well through the presentation, and at the end I asked her a couple of questions that related to that. She covered them very well. Describe the options businesses use to obtain marketing research data. She gave me several examples and explained each one. Number 4, discuss the nature of marketing research problems and issues. She did that as well. She made those answers relate to her presentation. Also describe techniques for processing marketing information. You notice on the videotape, I asked her information about the usage of information we could draw off the computers with the cash registers. She handled that very well. Now, as a judge, I normally will have about 3 questions that I can ask the participant. Jessica really in the presentation left me with nothing to ask. I just reworded a couple of the questions and re-asked them. On this role play, number 1 was what is the best method to collect information from current customers? She covered that very well. How can the marketing information management process be used to attract new customers? She gave me several examples of that. And can our computerized cash registers be used to collect information about customer purchases at university trends? I went back, she covered it very well, explained it in the presentation. I re-asked the question. She went back through it, explained it all, and we closed the presentation there. Looking at the judge's evaluation form, there are 6 different areas that I have to judge, and I rated Jessica's presentation as exceeds expectations in each area today. It asked, did the participant describe the need for marketing information? She did so up front and very thoroughly. Number 2, describe the use of technology and the marketing information management function. She began and ended her presentation explaining that to me. Number 3 was describe options businesses use to obtain marketing research data. She gave me 3 or 4 different examples in the course of the presentation. Number 4, discuss the nature of marketing research problems and issues. Again, that's an area she gave me several different areas. She gave me the explanation of each one. Number 5, describe techniques for processing marketing information. Her big example, she used Excel. That's excellent. And number 6, the overall impression and response to the judge's questions. As I said earlier, she really left me no questions to ask, but when I reworded a couple of them, she went back and took me from point A to point B in the explanation. She covered the question, she basically repeated it to me, and then gave me the answer 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll notice too that she asked for a close. She asked for the permission to start within the next 2 weeks. She gave it some immediacy, which I agreed to at the end. And at that point, if you notice, she began to close it with a grin and that friendly exit. And that was an excellent presentation. She did exceed expectations on it. We hope that this video presentation has given you the tools to help you to prepare for the role plays and the various competitions that you will be participating in and help you get to the stage.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman, for your time. Our business professionals are essential to our success.
Jessica, thank you very much. It has been my pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in the next competitions.
Good luck.